Hello and welcome. I'm Rachel. I'm here with Rodrigo, and we just saw me get killed. um, so now we have Paul versus Brian Kelly coming up soon. What do you think of this matchup?
Also, I think the mode will be quite cool if it lands. But Brian is not play. Is only playing one Force to Closures, which could be a problem. I think it's the best card in the matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I kind of favor Paul here, but I'm not sure. It'll definitely it's going to be close. I think either way.
Yeah, I think Brian is quite a good player, and he may make it with this. So, on your last game, what was the reason to keep the second hand, like the double Force of Will hand?
So I think it's a pretty good keep. I mean, mainly because I have two Force of Wills. Like I have two Forces and two blue cards. And I have a Swords, which is, I think, my best card in the match. So I think that's the reason. I think it's better than going to 6 because I don't have any like amazing cards against him. So I think I definitely think it was a pretty good hand. And I mean, if he didn't have as many creatures and it wasn't, I think I actually probably could have been okay. If I was able to have the white source sooner, I think I could have been okay as well. That was my thought process.
Was a close keep. I think the downside that he plays like 4 caverns and 4 and wastelands make this a bit less. I don't know. I would have thought a lot about keeping this hand because.
I definitely thought about it. I mean, I had the baby Jace as well. I had the Swords if I drew the white. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if 6 would have been better. I'm not sure. I guess it would have depended on the 6, but I don't know.
Usually against these decks, I prefer to have lands instead of counters because the problem with the White Eldrazi deck is like they put a lot of pressure on your mana, and from playing like back decks that plays only one basic, the new Thalia is really good, and it really hurts. Yeah, I don't know. You almost got out of it. Like you forced it through all his threats, and then the spirit came.
Yeah. I was just like one. I kind of feel with that one. It was one threat too many, too quickly as well. Like I don't know if he had the exact same cards that he had. If I would have mulliganed, if I would have been able to come up with a better 6 to deal with that, because that was it was a lot. I don't know. No. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Paul's hand was also a bit sketchy. He did had not turn 1 play, and his turn 2 play was only like Revoker or Displacer, which turn 2 Displacer is not what you want. He drew a Mox and then was able to gush you back to 0 lands and then play a Revoker, which was quite okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Yeah, that was hard. That was kind of heartbreaking. The game 1 was heartbreaking too. I mean, I don't know. I had to mulligan, then it was just like all land. So I don't know. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean, we play vintage. So I mean, someone can have Black Lotus, and it can be like that. So you chose to play Dredge. How have you felt that's been going for you? Do you like it still, or?
I have played Dredge in different events. It always went pretty good, but So at the end, I wanted to get an edge on people not playing a lot of sideboard on the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow I have played 2 rounds, and from 4 sideboard cards, they have in different games got 2 or 3. So Paul had 3 sideboard cards, and he had 4, sorry, and he got 3 in his hand, game 3, and then Kelly had also only 4 sideboard cards, and he got 2, like the Containment and the Rest in Peace on game 2. Which, yeah, sometimes you have it, and getting rid of 1 sideboard card is easy, but on 2, it's much more difficult. But I had to work a lot on the stretch deck because Undiscovered Paradise is backed on Magic Online, so it doesn't bounce to your hand. I knew one of the decks that I wanted to play was Dredge, but it was not so good. I played the one from the Magic Online, the Dark Depths Dredge deck, and I thought it was so bad. I don't know why someone plays it. So
I definitely think yours has a lot more game to it. Yours can react a lot better to people who bring in like sideboard hates, other than just having like force for them, which the other one has. So I think yours was really well positioned. That's for sure. Like of any Dredge deck, I think yours was tuned perfectly for it. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is I played test games with the Dark Depths deck, and every time when I played against a friend with Matt, every time he got like Cage and Caracas or Wasteland, I could not beat him because I have no odds. The only out I have is forcing or mental misstep in the cage. But if your opponent on Matt is a good player, he will not let you. He's not gonna slam the cage turn 1. He's gonna play a sphere, then play turn 2, and then against white decks, what's the same? They got some hate cards, and then they got Swords to Plowshares, and game was over. So I had to build a bit with this deck to have more Darkmoor Salvage to get my landfall going. But that ends up okay because Darkmoor is more a dredge card, even if it only dredges 2 cards, but you get to landfall every turn almost if you want. So Bloodhuts, I think Bloodhuts is a really cool card in dredge. So I think we are about to start. So
Perfect. Welcome back. So we are watching Rietzl versus Kelly, and looking at their hands, I see Kelly has the Emrakul inside his hand. So usually he can put that, I mean, he has a Brainstorm. He can put that back pretty easily for his Nahiri. Paul looks like he has a pretty fast hand.
yeah, also who starts? Brian starts, so he's gonna just land go, and then Paul has to decide on making Displacer or Revoker, which I think you have to use your mana the better way, like play Displacer, then you can play the Thognot Seer. So usually Displacer is the less good choice to make your turn 1 play in this deck, which plays a lot of good turn 1s.
Yeah, it's not it's not what you want to be playing on turn 1. Obviously, it's better than nothing at all. But I think you're right. I think it's important to, use your mana the most effectively.
So here Brian drew the Lotus. So if he draws a Planeswalker with the Brainstorm, he can play it. Even if it's maybe gonna die, but it's fine, I think.
Yeah.
So
here he immediately he highlights the Emrakul. He's definitely putting that back. Doesn't want that in sand.
The problem here is Paul is gonna play the Thognotseer, and he's gonna get force, and then Brian has no action. So, oh, okay, time walk.
He's gonna time walk.
Let's see. He needs something that does something. Well, a land is not good.
Yeah, he was looking for some action. He didn't find it. He does play Lotus here, I guess, so that he can hard cast the force, which, you know, it's not like what you want to do, but...
Yeah, then it's 2 for 1. And so it's like discarding a blue card.
Yeah.
So here, I think... Whoa. That's... Here you force. He's gonna name the Revoker, and it's gonna pressure you anyway. And then next turn you will not be able to hardcast force. So I think that's something you do here. So, oh, he let it resolve. So he named Black Lotus. So Thognotseer is now gonna resolve. I think he lost the Lotus and he lost the Force of Will anyway, so I will have Force it there. You make the clock lower, and then you also use your cards. Oh, Brian died. So, yeah, he needs to draw some action, like Supreme Verdict, I think, will be a great card. Okay. Oh, he drew the mode. Game was over, but...
I to see the moat.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having some internet problems. I'm not sure if you're able to hear me. I do see the moat, though, which is pretty spicy.
I hear you. I hear you more or less. So here, the only way that has to Paul to win is like with 2 Rin Wingmare and with the Eldrazi Displacer loop. So he can like blink the Thognotseer and make Brian deck out, which is not reasonable, but
yeah, that was a very, very, very good draw by Brian. That gives him all the time that I think he's gonna end up needing.
Yeah, so Paul has only 2 outs in his deck, and he has to find them before Brian in his high business deck finds something.
Yeah. I mean, he already has like he has a lot of his land, so my guess is that he's gonna draw them before Paul will be able to close it out. But wow, that was actually like that was one of the most impactful card that he could have drawn. The only thing that would have really gotten him out of this situation.
Yeah. Now Paul is gonna blink the Displacer. This makes Brian draw a card, and then he Thoxides the best of the cards he drew. So, Force of Will or Tagfiden. I think that's pretty easy.
There we go.
So, yeah, you take Tagfiden. And then next turn, 1, 2, 3. The next turn you can double blink with Displacer. Or, yeah, double blink. Triple blink if he draws another mana source. So, yeah, the problem of Vintage is there are lots of instants.
Yeah. That was not one of them, though, so it looks like he's gonna keep this quick.
Okay. Goodbye, preordain.
Yeah. Kind of like the slow bleed.
No, I don't know if Brian can get so many good cards in a row to be able to win. Because he has to get like 3 good cards. Okay, right now, 1, 2, 3. He has to get 4 good cards in a row to be able to survive.
Yeah.
Like he might lose even with the mode.
Yeah, but if he draws his swords, that would be pretty good, right? Because he can respond.
Yeah, even if Brian only plays 1 sword to blow shots.
Yeah, I think he only plays the 1, right? But I mean.
Yeah, but he can kill the displacer, but even so he has to draw the swords before anything happens. So now he's taken the verdict.
Yeah, obviously. This turned out to be like a super. This is I don't know. You play a lot of. Have you seen something like this happen? I guess it's just a moat. It's a weird way with the way moat interacts with things.
I have seen it like trying to kill with a Sognot Seer just by controlling, but usually all the decks that played against this had a lot of removal, so
yeah.
It was pretty easy to stop the combo. But only playing 1 swords to closures will make this much more difficult.
Yeah, a lot more difficult. You're right. Kind of like we're stuck in a loop, and someone, either whether it be Paul or Brian, is going to break us out. We'll have to see which one that is for sure. So Paul's looking for his flyers. Brian's looking for swords or enough density of good cards that he can't take them all.
Yeah, but he has to draw. Like right now, he has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 10 mana. So with 10 mana, he can blink 3 times each time. So he can. Brian has to draw 4 good cards.
Yeah.
In a row, which is not so easy.
No.
So he's renaming the Revoker to call Dakfiden. Oh, so he doesn't have to care about it being played.
Yeah, so now he just cuts off like even one more avenue.
So now Fossil Will gets removed because you don't care about Dakfiden anymore. Yeah, no, maybe Gush.
Probably once Brian's like, he can draw Dig through time, that would like probably.
Yeah, he has to draw Swords to Closures before Paul draws another Displacer. When Paul draws another Displacer, the game is over.
Yeah. It looks pretty crazy. We've seen a lot of unique board states this pod. I mean, we saw with you beat Paul with, having 3 pieces of graveyard hate. Didn't even use really like you did use it to some degree, but we saw that one. We see this one. It shows that Vintage has a lot of things you don't get to see every day in everyday Magic.
Yeah, hard casting Golgari Grave Troll. That's how good that thought of dredge mechanic, not just better get back a creature from your graveyard instead of drawing a random card.
Yeah, you do not see that every day, that's for sure. You also don't see like a Displacer blinking Thought-Knot 1,000 times every day, usually because if they have that much, they're dead or.
My biggest concern here is the time, that maybe they can get out of time. Oh, balance. I'm gonna take that.
I think it's. I mean, I think it would be you because we set it with such high timers that probably I don't know. I don't know if time will end up being, but I mean, more than anything.
Brian just needs to draw to get so as to closure the turn before Paul gets another displacer. That's the only issue here.
Mm-hmm.
So, more cards.
Have you played this White Eldrazi?
I don't enjoy this deck much. I think it's fine, but I don't own any cards of them, and also I think it lets you not take a lot of decisions. Like, I have enjoyed the Mad decks with Ravager because then you really have a lot of options. But I think this Eldrazi deck is really powerful, but you just slam the cards. How much mana do I have? 3. What costs 3 in my hand? This.
I'll play that. Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely kind of like a Jam Master J deck. Like, you tap your mana, you play your creatures, you attack with them, and at the end you throw your hands up and say whether or not it's good.
Okay, here drawing caverns is interesting because if Brian gets to have counter for the second displacer, then it will not matter. But anyway, he's gonna rip all his counters from his hands, so they're just gonna have a ton of mental missteps and a ton of he will have to name Beast. I don't know what Wingmar is. Beast? Horse? Pegasus?
Probably. I don't think it's horse. Maybe Beast. My guess would be Beast because that usually like covers like a variety of creatures.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pegasus. That's sometimes what they call horses. Pegasus. Here, I can look this up.
Okay, it's Pegasus.
It's Pegasus? Yes. Thinking of the art. I'm like, I don't think Magic would use horse. So what would they use to describe a horse?
Yeah, I'm sure the Tarpan has to be a horse, right?
Well, yeah, like a Pegasus is like a way to describe a horse. So it's just like a fancier word, I guess.
Tarpan has to be a horse.
This is a pretty crazy game.
Yeah, but it's gonna last a few minutes still.
Yeah, I feel like we'll be here. It's gonna be for a while.
Creature horse.
Unless he draws the horse, yeah.
There isn't a lot of horses in Magic, I think. There are a lot of horse riders, but not horses.
No. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of horses. I can think of, so there's the Windmare, other cards that have horse on the picture of them. I'm thinking the Lucid Limited. I think that's a horse. Oh, that might be a unicorn though. I'm not sure if that has like a.
So, we're sorry, guys. This match isn't the most exciting in the world.
They're like Z. Well, everyone take bets. Take bets on whether or not Brian Kelly is going to draw his swords / a dig through time to get his swords, or if Paul's going to draw his either another displacer or his horse, his Windmare.
Yeah. So this is like the games when the other Super League, like someone plays a turn 2 standstill, and then the game lasts 30 turns without anyone playing a card, like Truggle.
This is like draw. I take it. Draw. I take it.
Yeah. How many cards has Brian? 22? Yeah, it's almost 20 seconds each interaction of Thoughtnut here, so of drawing, selecting, and ordering the triggers. So we will be here 5 more minutes at least.
We're getting there, boys and girls. Dwarven Pony, that is another card that has a horse on it, a pony.
Oh, now Paul called play the Mana Crypt, and so make it much more interesting.
Play the Mana Crypt, Paul.
Who wins?
Oh my god.
So
just to keep it spicy.
Draw a card. I'll get rid of your Gitaxian Probe. Oh, Source to Bloshes.
No. There's the swords.
No, we are playing Magic.
Yes,
but
now we're
But still, Brian only has bad counter spells in hand. He can blink again the Thoughtnut Seer to see what if he has to blink more times. Like he can blink 1, 2. Oh, why he didn't blink again? Like you have to blink another time to get rid of the cards, I think.
Yeah. What is Cavern even on? Oh, it is on Pegasus. So I was saying like, well, maybe to save his maybe he wants to save his mana to play the Smasher with, but I mean,
no. What? More? No.
It's gonna not resolve because
I would have blinked more, like a lot more. Now, if he draws another, so playing the Cavern there is not so great because you don't know if you're gonna draw the Pegasus or another Displacer first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, another Cavern. I will still not play it. Let him wasteland you. Okay, the Thalia is pretty good because it stops the Emrakul kill, because Emrakul will come into play tapped. So Brian will be any way that we can see Brian's removed from game cards, so that we see how many Jaces or how many Nahiris he still have. Okay, 1 Nahiri he does have.
Yeah,
but
see
still,
that one.
Nahiri does nothing on this board state.
No.
Because Emrakul is gonna come into play tapped. And okay, eventually it filters and it helps to get to draw a Jace, which is not Dictator time. With this not revoked. I think I would have I would have played Revoker on, changed it with Displacer to name Nahiri and to name Jace, because Dark Fighting is not so dangerous. So at least I would have named Jace instead of Black Lotus.
Yeah, because I mean Dak will get him through his deck, but if you have Revoker on Jace and you have a Revoker on Nahiri, and he really has no way to kill them because his 1 sword went to your Displacer, I don't really know how he wins from there.
Yeah, so a win condition is discarding Emrakul because Emrakul shuffles everything back.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's gonna be a slow. Okay, there's a Jace.
Jace, Lotus Petal, Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby.
So he gets the Jace, then he plays Jace next turn. Okay, now Paul has to draw a good card. A Displacer is the only card who saves him here. Like, yeah, I think Brian is gonna Fate Seal. Also, yeah. because the cards in your deck doesn't matter anymore, just the cards on your opponent's deck.
Yes.
Brian got out of this lock. Huh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's a bit short of playing Emrakul.
Yeah. So one thing that he can do is he can bounce the Thalia, and then use the Nahiri.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Still, it doesn't even work because Caracas also bounces Emrakul. So he has to draw the strip mine the Caracas, then bounce the Thalia, and this is still not lethal.
How much mana does he have? Like, are we there? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, it's only 9.
Oh, so he has 14 mana. So
he can bounce the Revoker and then play the Emrakul. But this still only makes that the Caracas is not. He will. This is good if he can cast the Emrakul all the time, but it's not this case because he can only cast it one time with Lotus. They had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he needs 4 more mana sources that are not Lotus. So
looks like
Time Walk.
No, I thought Time Walk. Yeah. Yes.
Use your Time Warp for 4 mana. That's almost a Time Warp. So the process again.
Hey, if they played an EDH, it must be good. There's a Swords.
So yeah, I think this game is over. Yeah.
Paul agrees. Paul definitely agrees there.
Yeah, the mode was pretty good in this matchup. Even if this game started like Brian's gonna lose because he has absolute nothing. But
yeah. It was literally the epitome of one card entirely changing that game. That card had, I feel like, the most impact of every card in his 75 almost. Yeah. So let's see. I wonder if Brian has a good sideboard. It looks like he's gonna go look for the deck list. And Paul, yeah.
Paul sideboarded out his displacers. I think they are quite decent in this matchup. But he sideboarded in his lonely fragmentize for the mode. Like he has 1 out for it.
Hey.
Yeah, 1 out is 1 out.
Out. Like, you'd rather have 1 out than none, I guess, right?
So,
and then does Brian have, let me look at his deck list. Let me see what he has.
yeah, I think this week we all come prepared to face blue decks and not Eldrazi or even the matte sideboard is not so huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one expected to play matte, I think.
Yeah. So he has Brian has a sideboard sword, so he'll bring that in. He also has a sudden shock. Would you bring that in?
Yeah, of course. Everything that says kill or destroy or something like that, it's always welcome.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't know. That was a really insane, very long, very like not what neither deck was really operating the way you kind of intended it when you build it.
Yeah, you just need to draw your one of source approaches. Why did you need more?
Yeah, and he ended up doing that. Yeah.
It feels really weird for me that he only has one sword in his 75, which is quite strange for today's vintage standard.
I think he has two in his 75. He has one main deck, and if I'm not mistaken, just looking at his sideboard, I think.
Oh, okay,
He has two. He has one sideboard, one main deck. Yeah. So still kind of like a little bit low. Interesting. Yeah, because he did say he thought that there would be mentor decks, and that's kind of like an odd inclusion. But I guess he has the moat, so he kind of and he's playing the main deck Supreme Verdict, so that's kind of how he probably justified that.
So
okay, perfect. So we are heading back down. Looking at Brian Kelly's hand, he has a Soul Ring, which is always a welcome start.
So turn 1 Revoker, turn 2 Wingmare or Thognot Seer against a Fossil Will and a Soul Ring. So you have to play the Revoker on your first turn, but what do you name? Lotus?
Lotus, I think that's what I think most people normally name. That's what I'm inclined to name. Like, that's the one thing that's going to be like the most backbreaking for you is that you can think they'll play. I mean, I don't know. What would you name Lotus, or would you think about naming one of his Planeswalkers?
Yeah, I think Lotus is the most dangerous card that you can face.
Yeah.
Here, Brian is thinking about forcing the Soul Ring.
Mm-hmm. Does look like he.
But yeah.
Okay, so he lets revoke or resolve, which I think is good. I mean, he doesn't know.
He named Nahiri, which is a fine card to name.
Yeah. The good thing about the revoker, it doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with it once it sits on the battlefield. So if he wants to use Nahiri, he's going to have to figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah. And now Gitaxian Probes makes everything not so fun again.
Not so secret anymore.
Yeah, I don't like the card. The information for absolutely free is not so fun now. Playing with perfect information for absolutely nothing, it's not something I like. I think it takes out a lot of fun of playing.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely felt that it was too good for Modern. Obviously Vintage is a whole different beast, but there's something to be said about just in general, in any form of Magic, knowing what your opponent has can be the difference between winning or losing.
Yeah, I also think it's a card that should be banned in Legacy because it's not fun. There are a few unfun cards.
Yeah. What else? Out of curiosity, what else do you think should be banned in Legacy?
Yeah. Now here's Thognot Seer with the Cavern, which is really huge. Like Brian is gonna lose one of his cards, and that's a 3-turn clock right now. So I think the most dangerous card here is the Duck Fiden. Oh, he took the Ponder. Huh. Replacement Duck. Why? When you take the Ponder, you're worried about. I think Duck Fiden is much more powerful than a Ponder because it also makes that your Treasure Cruise next turn is live. Like you play Duck Fiden, then you have 5 cards in your graveyard after he attacks into it. And
Yeah.
it's also a fog.
Maybe if you're Paul, you're thinking you can kill the deactivated. So, I mean, one activation is you'd rather him not find something more impactful, I guess, with the Ponder, since he can kill the deactivated on the crackback.
Yeah, but still it makes him go for his treasure cruise. Like next turn, Brian is gonna get a treasure cruise. So I think it's better to stop him drawing 5 cards than to just ponder.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Planus Walker is it always fogs your opponent at least half turn.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that was. I think that would be the reason why he chose that. Well, obviously, we'd have to ask Paul to be sure. Okay.
Here,
Yeah.
Brian chooses to discard Tundra because of the double wasteland he knows from Paul. He prefers to keep the Mox because, yeah, the Mox will not be touched by the wastelands.
Mm-hmm.
So here you waste. Then you play the Wingmare Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Next turn he's gonna pay 3 to Treasure Cruise, like the Painful Truth, which is pretty okay. Paying 3 for drawing 3 cards is fair. I think in standard they have paid 3 mana for a divination that only draws 2. So paying 3 for 3 is fair, I think.
Yeah. I think you played Painful Truth, right, in your Leovold deck, like in the play-in tournament? Did you?
Yeah, I don't play Painful Truth, but I think it's a great card. The best is when you play it for 4 mana, like with a Sphere and a Deathrite Shaman, and you get to draw 4 cards. It's like, ha!
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, here's a mode.
There's the mode.
And then Brainstorm. He draws. Would him half expect to draw a Lotus? So
That would have been good. Jeez.
So he plays the Petal, and next turn he can play Nahiri, which is not the greatest plan because Nahiri is gonna die pretty fast, and he can also not play Mold.
Yeah, and that's what Revoker is on, correct? So.
Yeah, you have to play Nahiri because next turn it's lethal, so you have just to play Nahiri to kill the Thaugnautsir, draw 1 card, and make him attack your Nahiri.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. I think he won't be able to activate the Nahiri, though, because I believe Revoker's on Nahiri.
Oh, yeah, true. I forgot. It was like the turn 1 Revoker, your 4-drop.
Yeah, like, and hey, he was right. A million turns down the road, Nahiri is definitely something that could have at least put a speed bump.
1, 2. Oh, that's nice. This fragment also.
That's nice.
So, how many is he able?
Wow, he paid for it.
Maybe he can dig now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah. He has exactly mana to dig. So if he gets with this Lotus and a land, he can land the mode.
Yeah.
That's
I think that's what he's.
He has 1 spare mana.
Yeah.
Okay, he needs Lotus or Time Walk and a land, and then draw. Yeah, he needs Lotus on 41 cards.
Hey, it is something, you know, it's an outlet. Let's see.
Gosh, Island. Okay, none of these cards is the win, but he can gush. He plays a land, taps for white and blue, you gush. And then it's game over.
Yeah.
Concede. Yeah.
Yeah, so he agrees. I think that's what he was looking for there, but I mean, even though there's a high probability that he won't hit it, he has to look.
The powerful Fragmentize did end doing something.
You have to know, like, if you're Brian, when he goes to go Fragmentize your pedal. I mean, it was right, but, oh, that feels, you know, it's obviously a show of strength.
Yeah, that Paul played the Fragmentize is pretty good, because that was one more card in Brian's graveyard due to mental misstep. So that Paul played the Fragmentize, net Brian 1 mana for hit 2 time.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many times will you pay 2 life for 1 mana?
A lot. All the time. Like, turn one, just take a vote. Can I, like, recur it? Can I do it, like, multiple times? Like, I would do it all the time.
I will start every game on 2 life. Like,
yeah.
turn 1.
I think that's a plan behind Fast Bond, right? Except
yeah, or channel. Like, instead of playing double green cards. I think channel is the only double green card that is played in Legacy, in Vintage.
Yeah. Yes, channel. Yeah.
But how many? Not many decks can play double green cards, or there are even any good double green cards.
Other than channel, yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure there's some one that we're missing, but Two spirits. Ooh, I like Brian. Brian has recall. Not bad.
Recall, double Jace, double Spirit of the Labyrinth. And that's a slow hand, but yeah, Paul likes to keep everything. So that's a turn 1 nothing. And
yeah.
The chat says that Eureka is also a double green card, but I think I have never seen everyone cast it in Vintage. In Legacy a lot, but in Vintage not.
What card?
Eureka.
Oh, Eureka. Oh, okay. Or Fellows? Do people play that, or did they ever play that? I mean, they don't play it.
Maybe 10 years ago.
So why still? But you know. Thrun? People play Thrun, right? Like occasionally, like that seems like very like minimal sideboard play, maybe Thrun. He's like that.
I don't know.
So he drew the Mox, right? So he was able to actually have that play the Spirit right away, which is definitely good for Paul.
Yeah. Oh, that's how it goes. You just keep a land go and then you draw Mox. But Brian drew with his Ancestral Demote. So we are going to have another long game.
Yeah, but with like the sudden shock, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think
yeah, here you just play a mode and sit back forever. Oh, I prefer to play a Jace.
He disagrees. Yeah, he definitely is disagreeing. Wow. Without the Lotus, like you're pretty far off from casting the mode because you need the double white. I mean, hey, you know, a Jace is pretty good as well.
Seems like he wants to just draw cards.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I think mode gives you so many turns that you don't care about playing the Jace, but yeah, having a Jace against... Oh, here's a Lotus. Would have been nice to have a Reality Smasher.
Oh yeah, that would, yeah.
So
maybe he's worried that Paul would have his Fragmentize, and he has no way of protecting. I don't know. I'm not sure why he wouldn't play them all.
Why? Oh, he's gonna gush even if he draws no cards. Or he draws one card. Okay, he draws one card with a Spirit. It's every card of your opponent can draw cards is different. Like Chains is on both turns, Notion Stiff is on both turns, I also think. And Spirit of the Labyrinth is only in once per turn, like Leovold.
Yes. Yeah. So they can. Yeah.
They make it not so easy to know which is which. Here I can draw, here I can't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Chains, to be fair, that's an incredibly complicated card. I think there's like a flow chart with Chains where you can just go down it and like ask the questions and it like tells you what the answers are, because that's a pretty hard card to like read and just figure out what's going to happen if you don't know.
Yeah, I think I have this picture in my phone. Like it's a card and then it has a really long test. Like you just follow the instructions. Like
yep, you're like,
is
okay,
someone going to draw a card?
Is it your turn? No or yes, and then you follow it along until it tells you what to do.
Has he drawn already a card? Is he drawing a card? Has he cards in hand?
Exactly. That's definitely got to be the most complicated one. I don't know. That's got to be the most complicated.
I think the most complicated card in Magic is Humility and then Chains.
Yes.
Of Mephistopheles.
I agree. I was thinking of just the card, like the ones that stop you from drawing or changing your draw. But yes, Humility is definitely hard. So Humility, Chains, and then I don't think Trinisphere is hard, but I do know a lot of people have an issue with Trinisphere. Like they always ask, and it's like it's always 3 is the answer.
Yeah, at the start when all the Delve spells came out, we thought that you had to pay the mana, at least 3. But for some reason, with Pyrexia mana, you have to pay real mana, but with Delve spells, not. Which is, you are just paying an alternate mana cost. But I don't know, the rules sometimes are weird.
Yeah. So the Reality Smasher taking on the Jace, not bad.
There goes the Jace. So, and he's quite far away of mode. Okay, he could mode the next turn, like getting a Tundra, then gushing, then playing the Tundra again. So, yeah. But yeah,
well, then gonna fix there.
He's gonna play a lot of Preordained still. So just Supreme Verdict and a mystery card.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see it. There we go. Yeah, it kind of feels like he has a wealth of riches.
Yeah, he just.
19 too. So it's not like the other.
Okay, a Brainstorm and another blue card. Gitaxian Probe. Gitaxian Probe is always good.
So now he gets to see exactly what he has. Knows the best way to sequence what he wants to do. The only thing that's working against Paul is that, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that's working against Paul is that this time Brian was at a significantly higher life total. So he's it would have been nice to have pressure on him a lot earlier, force him to start dealing with these things. And he's kind of had the time to deal with them as he wants to, as he sees fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's see. I'm not sure. This game is quite difficult to know who will win. Like right now, I think Paul can drop all his hand to the table. Like, yeah, only 2 creators. But like this. I know, okay, this place is also wide, so only these 2. So oh, this box, if it would have been white, would have been really great.
Would have been good.
But right now, what is Brian gonna do?
I would.
Fragmented the enchantment of Spirit of the Labyrinth. That's
that's a good corner case right there.
I have liked when I played like Weird Tear against this kind of hate burst, and you play Wear on Spirit and Tear on Pierce and Revoker. That's like, oh, value.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, this is just all extra benefit to this card right now.
Yeah, I think Weird Tear is quite a good card.
Yeah, I like it.
Ponder. Oh, White Mox.
Yeah.
That's like a good card. Still.
So yeah, that's what he ended up.
Also, Paul has to draw Reality Smasher now. Or better a Thoughtnut Seer, I think. Like Thoughtnut Seer, get the Mox. Oh!
I was gonna say a Wasteland because he can waste the Tundra, keep him off the white mana, but yeah, Thoughtnut will definitely.
But yeah, Kelly has Gush. He can Gush the Tundra back.
That's true.
So
yeah, that's true.
He can. Yes, he can play Thoughtnut Seer and Displacer, but he cannot blink it. This. Okay, I think this game is play Thoughtnut Seer, take your Supreme Verdict, and try to run away with the Ring Windmare for 6 life. Yeah, that's a fine deal. Then next turn you can start looping him into the Thoughtnut Seer.
Yeah. Oh, it's like if he didn't have the Supreme Verdict or if he didn't have the moat, it would be. But it's the combination of the two that.
Yeah, I think the moat doesn't matter here too much because
he's at 6 with the.
Yeah, and with the now Paul has a different card that he didn't have before, the Faint Pegasus.
Yes.
So yeah, Frank Kelly is still thinking. Yeah, Kelly is thinking of gushing here to get a Fossil Will or something relevant, because almost this is no, okay. Yeah, he's gushing. And let's see what. Yeah, he really needs a Fossil Will. Or the Swords to Closures.
Swords is not bad.
Like, he Swords the Windmare, then.
Yeah.
He takes the Verdict.
And then you can play the moat.
No, I think you get the moat now.
Yeah, I think I would not take the moat instead of the Verdict. Because the moat is more backbreaking. You can draw out of the Supreme Verdict, but you can't really draw out of the moat.
Now you take the moat and then you let yourself verdict, and if you draw a smasher or even the displacers at turn clock.
Yeah. The Supreme Verdict is annoying, but the moat is gonna. Brian could have waited on the swords. Was there any benefit to like doing it right then? See what he took so he can respond kind of accordingly. Does that make sense? Because like if he like takes the moat, then you're gonna want to like depending on what you swords, one card is better than the other. So maybe giving him the information of swordsing the Ringmare gave him the ability to take the verdict, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. He can wait because he's not gonna take the swords, but you're gonna play the swords anyway. So maybe don't risk that he has some weird card. Okay.
But you know his death is.
Verdict.
Because I mean, swords is like because you have verdict. I don't know. Anyway, so he casts it. Now he has like a bunch of land, a bunch of mana producing things in his hand.
But Brian has only 2 draws to come up. Oh, source to closures. That's Brian is drawing pretty good in the VSL in general. I think he's having pretty good draws. Oh, Smasher. That's also a really good draw.
Oh my gosh. That's also super good. That's crazy.
Now, Kelly needs to draw Nahiri or a Dick or, yeah. Oh, Treasure Cruise is also. Yeah, he needed to draw spells or Nahiri.
Wow. That's crazy.
Top deck part.
He top deck the swords, but he top deck the Reality Smasher. So they're even, except of course Paul ends up with the Reality Smasher in play.
The good thing here is that Brian cannot draw into another Fossil Will. So he can draw into, but he has to hardcast it. Okay, yeah, he drew into it, but yeah, he's dead to the Smasher. Smash! Okay, maybe not. 3, 6. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking he could draw one more card with Library. Oh, yeah, he can bounce the Mox. Bounce a Mox with. No, that doesn't gain extra cards. That's just trading 1 for 1.
Yeah, almost like if he got to keep that in his hand and then also get the Mox, it would, yeah.
That will be a repeal. It will be great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, that was pretty crazy.
So mono white Eldrazi wins.
Wow, he's taking down the blue decks. He's like,
yeah.
Which I think it has a pretty good matchup. The Eldrazi. I mean, that's why I think you play those cards.
That was a really good match. The first game was really epic, like with the Thognut Seer lock and the mode. But yeah, playing once for 2 closures pays out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one was enough. One was not enough.
On hindsight, maybe having cast the mode at the start of the game would have been like instead of the Jace. Would have been great.
So it looks like it's going to come down between me and you. So that means that Paul for sure is in the playoffs, if I understand correctly. And then Brian is going to move to the wild card group, and he still has the chance to make his way into the playoffs through that group. I think one person from the wild card group makes it into the playoffs.
Yeah. So we play now.
And then it will be decided which 2 people from the playoffs go.
I hope don't fall into oblivion. That's my only desire.
Hopefully, yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I kind of want it, but only selfishly. I think it would be better if we both had a good, good karma, good hands, and we'll see where it
Yeah, just play Magic.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we are going to head off, and we are going to go ahead and get ready to play our match. So stay tuned for that, and good luck.
Yeah.
But not so much.
Bye.
Bye.